Hi everybody, it's Carmel Jane here, doing a live on wondering how to get great staff. Um, so yeah, a little bit about me, just hoping a few people join in shortly. I've been a photographer for 20 years, but it was 6 or 7 years ago I decided to do dance schools, and then I knew I had to grow the business by having staff. I really wanted to have staff, but actually a lot of people don't like the idea of having staff. I think they're a bit worried about it. But now we're up to, I think, 15 full-timers and permanent, some of them part-time, and then probably another 10 who are contractors. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of getting staff, but you do have to get it right. So a few more people joining in. This is good. We've got some questions that people have asked already, because I think so many people are really worried about getting staff, but you just can't grow your business and you can't make the most of platforms like GotPhoto, and kind of turn it into real money if you don't employ staff. And if you employ, hello, more people, Carmel Jane here. Just how important it is to employ staff, but how important it is to get right, because I've had to, in the last 7 years, I probably had to fire 4 people, and it's horrible, but it really, really has to be done. I'm a big fan of hire slow, fire fast, but it took me a really long time to learn that. So I think we'll get started. One of the first questions someone asked is, why are staff critical to your business success? And actually, I don't really work weekends now. I can earn a really good living without working weekends, and I think I see a lot of photographers and they are, having to work all the time, and so you just can't grow your business. In the early days, when I was a wedding photographer, that was different. I actually did have an editor then. But then when I started doing the dance schools and started doing volume, I did everything. I did sales. I had one editor, I had a part-time sales, but I was taking the photos, I was prepping the kit. And then we sort of had, after a couple of years, we had a super busy season. We were really busy in June and July. And I just about had a nervous breakdown, I think. I was just, you just can't work 7 days a week constantly. So you can't grow your business without employing staff. So that is probably the most super critical thing that you do. What do you look for in staff members? So I'm a big fan of attitude over skill set. So if someone, say especially doing nursery photography or working with kids, if they don't like kids, and no matter how good their photography is, it's going to be much more difficult to teach someone who hates kids but good at photography how to like children. But if someone loves kids and has got a really, really good attitude, they're going to make a great photographer. So all really, really big on skill set over attitude. And I think it's important too in the business that we're in. I'm sometimes a little bit coy about employing people who have got quite entrepreneurial spirit. The great news is, if we're entrepreneurs, it actually is lots of people out there who kind of aren't that bothered about running their own business. They want to work for other people, which is brilliant. But there's other people always looking, I think. So, you do have to be a bit coy about people that might be wanting to, take your ideas or customers. Touch wood, as yet that's not really happened to me. But yeah, I think the biggest thing when you're employing people is attitude over skill set. Where do I find my staff? Well, I've tried different avenues. I think beware of putting it on your own personal Facebook account, which I have done. And then if you get people applying who you know, or this becomes a little bit embarrassing if they're not right. I've had really good luck putting it on Indeed recently, and I did design a Facebook kind of e-flyer, which had, do you love dance, do you love photography, and that pulled in some really good photographers. But yeah, I would be careful of you on your own personal Facebook page. It's sometimes good to use connections, but I think I'd just be careful if you're looking for staff there. We actually had really good. So we were really busy in June and July and September because of dance schools and then schools in September. And we put it on Indeed as a contract, 4-month contract, and that's worked super well. We've had really, really good people come through that one. So that would probably be a top tip, if you actually put it out and say, there's a contract. So I think when we just say part-time, well, what's part-time? People have really, really different values on what part-time is. So yeah, attitude over skill set. And I think they have to be physically fit and be able to work hard and want to be in the team, because as we all know, doing volume photography is tough and it's really, really hard work. So that's a really good work ethic and wanting to be part of the team. What's the most important thing you've learned when it's come to hiring? Unfortunately, I'm one of the people that like to learn from my mistakes. Well, sometimes I don't even learn from my mistakes. So when you're growing your business and it's growing really quickly, and then you go, oh my goodness, we need more staff, we're taking more bookings, what's going to happen? So you interview and you say, you're good, do you want a job? And I actually have done that loads of times, which is sort of embarrassing. But, you think, one thinks we're a good judge of character, so oh, I like this person, but actually that's where I've made my mistakes, when you employ people too quickly. And I think even if it is just for a photography job, you should have a phone interview. So this is how I do my interview. So advertise and I do initial phone interview, just 10 minutes, because I think that gives you a pretty good feel of what they're about. You've got to make sure that they can drive and they've got a full license and they don't live 5 hours away and they've actually got a camera and all that kind of thing. So a 10-minute phone interview. And then I get them in and we have a full talk and you just kind of look them in the eye. And often when they come in too, I just give them a camera and just see how they hold a camera, just to make sure what they're saying on paper is kind of matches up. And even if they say, I do take on people that have had no photography experience, but as long as they can kind of hold a camera and things, so that's another good thing to do. And then they also have to go out on a job, because schools are busy and hard, but our dance schools are probably even more difficult because they're on their own. They're carrying loads of kit. There's 4 lights. There's a lot more that can go wrong. So we send them out on a local job and say, hey, this is for both of us. You're selecting to come and work for me as much as I'm selecting you to work for me. So we have them on a job. So it's kind of a 3-stage interview. And then when they do the first day of training, that's further part of the interview, because with what we do, especially volume, and I've especially done schools, you've worked so hard and spent a lot of time, money and effort to get that school, and it might be worth, £3,000, £5,000, £10,000 a year to you. So you really have to make sure you've got ambassadors for your company going out. So always do 3 stages. And even if you love them and think they'll be brilliant and you kind of know them, I think use due care and diligence in the way you employ them. Give them a contract, whether it's just, they're just doing part-time shifts. I mean, they're doing 1 or 2, maybe not, but if they're going on any kind of long term, because it just sets the stage to say this is professional, even though it's part-time, or it's still, we're taking this seriously because I value my business. So hire slow, fire fast. I mean, and if another thing, you like someone, something that just makes you not quite sure, don't do it. That not quite sure is going to grow into completely damn annoying, and then you're going to have to get rid of them, and it's really, really unhealthy to the other staff members. I'm not sure how many people are listening in who've got a bigger staff, but if you're just starting out, I think the first person you should get is an editor, if we're talking about photography. Editors are great. It frees up the time. I know I've spoken to lots of photographers like, oh, but editing is so important. It's what I do. It's part of the photography. It's a really, really, especially with volume, it's a super easy job to teach someone else and hand over. It's a good idea to get a part-time bookkeeper, even if it's just a couple of hours a week. I didn't keep as good records of my dance school figures over the years as I wish I had. I wish I'd kept that much better, because then you've got data and you can compare year on year. So I wish I'd got a bookkeeper earlier on, and let go of your photography as quickly as you can, because you need to, if you're out every day lumping kit, putting all the energy into kids day in, day out, early in the morning, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to step back and say, what does my business need? How can I grow it? Can I have a look more around on GotPhoto and check my prices, or can I employ the right staff, or work on some marketing? So, I mean, I love employing people. It's fantastic, and it just frees you up just to do the things that you really enjoy. I mean, I don't do the accounts, and I don't do HR, and I don't do contracts, and I don't do health and safety, because I pay someone else to do it, and it just frees you up to concentrate on growing your business, being more creative in how you grow your business, and creative with the photography. And I tend to design the lighting and train my trainer so she can train the other people, and it's a real sense of freedom when you have staff and you can do that. And at what point would you recommend considering expanding staff? Right from the start. I say early on, I think if you're trying to grow a volume business, I mean, once you've got a certain amount of income coming in, obviously, but if you can get someone either to do your editing, I actually, once I built up the sales, I did have someone just do probably 8 hours a week sales so they could keep on top of all the booking forms and things. But you kind of can't grow your business until you have staff, and you think you can get an editor for probably £8, £9, even £10 an hour. that can come in and do all that work, and it just frees up so much time if you have an editor. And I think we all are guilty when we're editing our own photos. It's much more difficult to self-edit, and we're a little bit more precious about our photos. When someone else is editing the photos, they can be a lot more removed from it, and so they can make quicker decisions and edit quickly. So I would say do it sooner rather than later, and make sure that if you're employing someone to do the editing, if you're paying them for 10 hours of editing a week, you do 10 hours of sales, because what is going to be better use of your time? 10 hours of editing is not growing your business, and you're paying someone £9 an hour, so it's 90 quid. What could you do in £10? You're not telling me you couldn't get 90 quid's worth of business if you did 10 hours a week of sales. So absolutely get in there early, but make sure if you're paying someone, you're worried about that, the hours that they're doing, that you are doing in sales and marketing, and that will just absolutely grow your business. Did you ever find it difficult to offload tasks and responsibilities to employees? Funny enough, I was just talking about this with one of my team today. She's kind of grown into the social media role. She's doing a lot of my social media. And early on, I found it easy to give away the bookkeeping and the cleaning and different things. And you slowly learn how to delegate, because I think all of us, if we're entrepreneurs, we're kind of people who are good at doing things. We're good at doing things quickly. So we think we can do things the best. But actually, we've got to learn that other people do things well. And I'm pretty lucky. I think I'm still the best photographer that we've got there, and probably the commercial stuff. But I prefer to teach other people how to do it. I've got someone who's good at bookkeeping. I say all the boring stuff, which I don't really like doing. And now someone's doing my social media as well. And actually that was kind of a big, I can delegate this, because it feels like something I should be doing. So it's a continual learning curve about delegating, but it's really, really wonderful. I mean, all through summer, I'll probably have to do the odd weekend day if someone calls in sick, but I'll be at home with my kids, my husband, and in the sunshine, and I'll have 20 people out working for me, and I'm earning money while choosing the life that I want. So learning to delegate is amazing, and you sometimes have to step up, but letting go and realizing that it's okay. What were your top tips for being a good manager of staff? I think that's, if you're going to get good staff, actually you do need to be a good manager. And I think fairness and honesty is straight up, as you've got to be really transparent with them, and also if you truly believe that what you're doing is best for them. So I enjoy making money, I enjoy my business growing, but also I love that my staff, I've developed loads of people. I had 2 women who were dinner ladies, and they worked in the city and they were dinner ladies, and actually so now they're photographers, and I love that I've really helped them kind of move away from that, and now they're really proud, and they earn pretty decent money on a part-time basis and ad hoc basis. So if you really are about saying, what can I do that's best for my staff, then you get really, really loyal staff, and they work super well for you. So being a good manager is genuinely caring about the staff that you've got. So I think that's super important. I also have a vision, mission, and culture statement, which I share, so they all know what it is we're about. And I'm about making people look good and feel good, that we've got a duty of care to the children that we photograph, or even we photograph, but predominantly with volume, it's kids. So if you are clear and transparent and honest, then I think you'll get loyalty back, and having loyal staff is the best thing. So my team at the moment are amazing. They're really, really good. And I was speaking to someone recently, and they said, I've got about 20 staff. I hate a lot of them. I'm like, I've got 20 staff, and I really, really like all my staff. But I say, I did have to let someone go recently. They'd only been there a month, and I thought, nope, they're not going to be right. And it was a horrible thing to do, but actually it was the best thing to do, because one bad apple can actually upset quite a big cart. You need one person to upset 10 or 20 people, and it can happen. So when you do employ people, I say keep all the paperwork really, really clear, and also do appraisals. So we are an informal appraisal chat every week for the first month, and then it goes monthly, and then it's every 3 months. And even if you chat to them and you get on okay, so I'll just have a 15-minute chat, and every time you do that, even though you thought everything was fine, something will come up, and it might just be a great idea, or they might have a little niggle that they want to talk to you about. So really, really looking after your staff will keep them super loyal. So No one's asked me any questions. Last time I got loads of questions. I didn't scroll down and see them. I'm sure that no one's answered any questions. So I'm a huge fan of getting staff, because it's the only way to grow your business. If anyone wants to know more about getting staff, you can PM me and say I'm really keen. I think we can't, and so many, I think photographers are the worst, going, oh, but I'm the best photographer, I'm the best editor, and they're so busy chasing their tails, they never get the time to find the right staff, and you simply can't grow your business without employing people. And if you're a man, but probably even more so if you're a lady, the first one you should get is a cleaner, because you shouldn't be doing the hoovering if you're trying to grow a business, because that's not a good use of your time. And that's the excuse I use anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed that. We have got, what was I going to say? Should have turned my phone off, shouldn't I? It was in my text messages. So GotPhoto have been incredible, and they are like another staff member, because you think if you're using someone like GotPhoto, that's all the processing that happens online, that is saving you someone do it all manually. And also you've got kind of marketing help on the end of the team and the automated marketing system. So it is like having a few employees in your hat. So they have been absolutely amazing for me. And as I say, we're doing okay. We've tripled our turnover in the last 2 or 3 years simply by using the GotPhoto system. I would highly recommend it. And they have this amazing exclusive free trial. So if you tuned in tonight, if you go to, they're going to put the, I'm going to put the link in. Is it in the, oh yeah, I think it's in there. Trial visit. I'm going to put the link in, and if you sign up, you get 4 months without subscription. But I just couldn't recommend enough how to use GotPhoto and really utilize their capacity for growing your business. But you have to get staff. There's no way you can do it without employing people, and employing people is fun if you get it right. PM me if you've got any questions. This has been fun. I'm Carmel Jane, and yeah, go GotPhoto. They've got a special offer. You should do it. Bye.